Let me be honest with you, most intermediate students never reach advanced level. Not because they are not smart, not because they don't study enough, but because they keep doing beginner level habits. My name is Moldir Assanova, and I've been teaching English for over 10 years in language schools at university and right now in a real estate school classroom in Kazakhstan. I also have a master's degree in Applied Linguistics for English language teaching from Queen Mary University of London, which basically means I've studied the science of how people actually learn languages. And I've seen exactly what separates intermediate students from advanced speakers. In this video, I'm giving you 10 methods that actually work. Here is a problem with B1 students. You understand a lot, but you can't express yourself clearly. You learn new words, but you never use them in a real sentence. You watch videos in English, but fast speech still feels like noise. This is what teachers call the intermediate plateau, and here is why it happens. At beginner level, every lesson felt exciting because every lesson was new words, new grammar, new things you could suddenly say. But at intermediate level, progress becomes invisible. You are not learning dramatically new things, you are refining, and refinement is harder to feel. So what do most students do? They keep doing what worked before. More flashcards, more grammar exercises, more passive watching, and nothing changes. To break the plateau, you don't need more content, you need a different system. Before I give you the methods, I want to acknowledge something very important. Most English learners don't live in London or New York. They live somewhere like I do, in Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan or Brazil or Vietnam, where English is not on the street, not in the shops, and not in your family's kitchen. I know this situation, I lived it, and I still live it. I teach English every day in a country where English is not the daily language. So every single method I'm about to share is designed for you, someone building English from the inside of a non-English environment. And the good news, it's absolutely possible. You just need the right system. Method 1, and this is the biggest shift most students need to make. Watching videos is not enough. I know you are watching English content every day. Netflix, YouTube, podcasts, and that's great. But if you are just watching, your brain is being entertained. It's not being trained. The difference between B1 and C2 is not how much English you consume. It's how much English you produce. And here is the simple rule. Every time you consume English, you produce something back. For example, watch a short video, pause it, speak for about 1 minute from memory. Don't translate, don't write, just speak. Or take a text, read it, close it, write 3 sentences summarizing it without looking, just from memory. You will feel uncomfortable, and that discomfort, that's your brain working. Speaking is not something that just happens when you are ready. It's a skill, and like any skill, it needs deliberate, regular training. Most students practice speaking randomly. They speak when they have to, in class maybe, but random practice gives you random results. Here is a daily speaking routine you can do completely alone. First, choose a topic. Your day, a news story, something you have an opinion about. Keep it simple. The goal is speaking, not thinking. Step number 2, speak non-stop for 3 to 5 minutes. No pauses, no perfection. If you don't know a word, go around it. Explain it differently. Keep going. Then record yourself, not for content, but for awareness. Your phone is your best teacher here. Then listen back like a teacher, not a student. Don't just hear yourself, analyze yourself. Where did you hesitate? What words did you repeat? Where did you sound unnatural? And final step, repeat the same topic. Same idea, better performance. This time, fewer pauses, maybe clearer ideas, stronger language. I give this exact task to my students in Kazakhstan, and those who do it consistently, even just like for 5 minutes a day, they start speaking noticeably more fluently within 4 to 6 weeks. This comes directly from linguistics research, and it's one of the most important things I teach. Stop learning single words. Native speakers don't think in isolated words, they think in phrases, what linguists call lexical chunks or collocations, fixed combinations that come out automatically. Here is the difference. A B1 student opens their vocabulary notebook and writes let's say the word improve, definition, maybe a translation, and done. But an advanced speaker doesn't think of improve as a single word. They know it as a family of phrases, combinations that come out automatically without thinking. For example, I am really trying to improve my speaking. I've seen a huge improvement this month, or I struggled to improve my pronunciation. The best way to improve is same word, but now it lives inside real language, real context, real sentences that a real person would actually say. So, what to do? Every time you learn a new word, find 2-3 phrases it naturally lives in. Write a sentence you would actually say. Then use those phrases this week. If you can't understand fast English, it's usually not because of your vocabulary, it's because of connected speech. The way real English changes when people speak naturally. Words don't stay in their dictionary form. They link, reduce, and disappear. For example, it's not what are you going to do? It sounds more like what you're gonna do. And not I don't know, but I don't know. This isn't lazy English, this is spoken English. Here is a method called intensive listening. Listen once, get the general meaning. Listen again, then try to catch specific words and phrases. Follow along with the transcript if there is one. Listen a final time, no text, just audio. One clip done properly is worth more than 10 new videos watched once and forgotten. At B1 level, your grammar is functional. You can communicate, but there are gaps, specific repeating mistakes that make you sound less confident. At C2, grammar is flexible, accurate, and mostly automatic. Here is a mistake most students make. They open a grammar book and start from page 1, present simple, past simple, future, all over again. And that's a waste of your time. What actually works, focus on your mistakes, the ones that come up again and again. What to do? Keep a mistake journal. Every time someone corrects you, a teacher, an app, or a grammar checker, write it down, review it weekly. Study that list, not a random textbook chapter. Reading is one of the most underrated ways to reach an advanced level. Personally, I learned a huge amount of my English from reading, long before my master's degree. But here is the key. It's not what you read, it's how you read. Most students read the wrong way. They stop at every unknown word. They translate everything. They check the dictionary every minute. And very quickly, reading becomes slow, frustrating, and they give up. But advanced learners read differently. Here is the right way. Read things you actually enjoy. Articles, blogs, novels, opinion pieces. When you see an unknown word, don't panic. Try to guess it from context. Only look it up if it keeps appearing and blocks your understanding. And most importantly, notice how sentences are built, because this is where real progress happens. When you see a sentence that sounds clear, natural, or sophisticated, don't just understand it, steal it. For example, imagine you read something like, despite the rapid growth of AI, many experts remain cautious about its long-term impact. Don't just translate it, break it down. Despite something, many people remain feeling about topic. Now make it yours. Despite having a strong vocabulary, many B1 learners remained hesitant about speaking in public. This is how you train your brain to think in advanced sentence patterns, not just individual words. And over time, you'll notice something interesting. You don't just understand better, you start expressing ideas more clearly, more naturally, more confidently. That's the real goal. You cannot wait for an English environment to come to you. You have to build it deliberately inside your own life. And no, you don't need to move abroad. What you need is to turn English from something you study into something you live through. But let me show you a smarter way to do this. Not the obvious tips you've heard 100 times. Here is what building a real English environment actually looks like. Build a second voice in your head. At advanced level, you don't translate, you comment, you watch something, and your brain responds automatically. That's interesting, or I'm not sure I agree. That's a good point, but this internal dialogue is a sign that English is becoming part of your thinking system. Use English for real decisions, not just practice. Real life. Plan your day, organize your tasks, solve small problems, all in English, because language becomes strong when it's connected to real meaning, not exercises. Create English-only zones in your day. Instead of trying to use English all day, which is unrealistic, define small periods like 30 minutes in the morning, or your commute, or your evening walk, where everything is in English. No switching, no translation. This trains your brain to stay in English longer. As someone with a background in applied linguistics, I can tell you AI can accelerate your progress if you use it correctly. Here is how. Don't just get corrections, get explanations. When you write something, don't ask AI to fix it. Ask, why is this wrong? Focus on the rule, the pattern, the collocation. That's how you actually learn. Turn AI into a speaking partner. Set a clear scenario, like you are an interviewer, ask me 5 questions, or you are a customer, I am the assistant. Then answer out loud, not in text. This gives you structured speaking practice anytime, anywhere. Upgrade your sentences to C2 level. Write something simple, then ask AI, rewrite this sentence at C2 level. Then compare what changed, vocabulary, sentence structure, connectors. This trains you to notice the gap between your level and advanced English. Use it to expand your language in chunks. Learning a new phrase? Ask AI to generate real examples in different contexts. Then choose the ones you'd actually use and practice them. Now, using AI is a fantastic way to build confidence, but eventually you have to step out of the lab and into the real world. A lot of people will tell you that the only way to do this is to find a stranger online or pay for a conversation partner. But let's be honest, for many of us that can feel awkward, or maybe you just don't have the time or the budget for it right now. Instead, I want you to find your digital street. If you live in a place like I do, where I can't hear English on the streets, you have to find where English speakers actually hang out. And I don't mean a language learning app where everyone is just practicing. I mean the comments section of things you actually care about, like YouTube, TikTok, or other social media. The rule is simple. For every 3 videos or posts you consume in English, you must leave one thoughtful comment. Don't just write "great video," that's too easy. Write a 3-sentence opinion, explain why you agree or even politely disagree with someone. This is what I call low-stakes production. You are communicating with real people in real time, but it gives you that vital moment to think and edit before you hit the send button. It's the perfect bridge between studying the language and actually living it. The final method, and the one most students completely ignore, is this. You need to see your progress, because at intermediate level, progress is slow and often invisible. So students feel like, I've been studying for months and nothing is changing. But something is changing. You are just not measuring it. Remember the speaking practice I told you about earlier in method 2? Recording yourself, analyzing and repeating. Here is how you turn that into real motivation. Keep your recordings. Don't delete them, save them. Save one speaking sample every week or every 2 weeks. Don't worry if it is bad, it should be. Revisit them later. After a few weeks, go back and listen to your old recordings, not to criticize yourself, but to compare. Notice fewer pauses, clearer ideas, better vocabulary, more confidence. That difference, that's your progress. Track what's improving, not just what's wrong. You already focus a lot on mistakes. Start noticing what you are doing better. New phrases you are using, smoother sentences, stronger opinions. Seeing what your own progress is one of the most powerful motivators there is. So don't skip this. Here is the honest truth, and I say this as a teacher. You don't go from B1 to C1 or C2 by studying harder. You go there by using English every day, in small ways, in consistent ways, in ways that feel slightly uncomfortable. And if you're doing this in Kazakhstan or Colombia or Japan or anywhere that isn't London, it will take longer. That's real, but it's not impossible. I've watched students do it in my classroom, in my country, without ever moving abroad. The method matters. The consistency matters more. If you're watching this from a country where English isn't the daily language, I see you. I am you. And this channel is built for exactly that situation. Leave a comment below and tell me which method are you going to try first. I read every comment. If you want more videos like this, practical, teacher tested, subscribe to your English Studio and hit the bell. And I'll see you in the next one.